Hey, it's Tom
And Mike.
from Take Time to Travel.
Puerto Vallarta is such a remarkable city. From the perfect weather and the pristine white sand beaches, lined with the beautifully landscaped Malecon walkway, to the wonderful cityscapes, architecture, and entertainment in El Centro, covered with unique and vibrant street art, as well as the incredible excursions. And who could forget the delicious cuisine? There's so many things to do, eat, and see in Puerto Vallarta that it's hard to choose from. So we put together this Puerto Vallarta travel guide to hopefully give you some ideas on what to do on your next trip. So without further ado, let's get right to it.
Make sure to walk around and check out the streets in Puerto Vallarta's El Centro, which is lined with lots of colorful hanging banners, as well as lush tropical vegetation and some cool examples of architecture. You'll also find the Plaza de Armas, the main square, where there are vendors set up selling a variety of goods, from tacos to enchiladas, quesadillas, burgers, and refreshing drinks. There's a little bit of everything, all with a nice view of the Church of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Let's go across the street and check it out. We were lucky enough to see the interior of the church, which was spectacular. You'll also find spectacular examples of street art in El Centro. Love the vibrant colors that are used, and how some of the art wraps right around the buildings.
El Centro sure is nice, but let's keep going and make our way up a lot of stairs and hills to Mirador El Cerro de la Cruz, the Hill of the Cross lookout point. After all those stairs, we walked up the paths and cobblestone roads and wound our way up the hills towards the lookout point.
Along the way, we saw lots of cool buildings and pretty looking flowers. Then the hill started to get really steep, and the road had these grooves in them, which I guess are for traction because of the road's steep incline. Along the way, we passed some barnyard animals like some donkeys and some chickens. Then the road turned into this winding pathway, still up on a steep angle.
After our long walk up the windy pathway, we thought this might be the end. But nope, there was another incredibly steep section. The steepest yet, but we couldn't give up there, so we kept hiking. After we caught our breath for a minute, we kept on hiking up the stairs. And when we finally made it to the top, we saw this amazing view. But there's still a few more flights of stairs to go to get to the best lookout point.
Walking up the last few flights of stairs, the views were spectacular. I can't wait to show you the views at the top. There's the cross, as well as a magnificent view of the lush green mountainsides and the buildings climbing their way up the side of them. And of course, the best part of the lookout point's view is this way, where you get breathtaking vistas overlooking the ocean and all of Puerto Vallarta. Wow, incredible! What a phenomenal view! It's definitely worth climbing up all those hills and stairs. After an obligatory video selfie, I walked down the stairs, which are definitely not for those who don't like heights.
Like me, so I waited here with this incredible view. We took our quick video selfie together, then we had a quick look at the cross of Mirador El Cerro de la Cruz, and checked out the views from over here, which again are pretty spectacular.
After that amazing experience, which is free by the way, it's time for us to head back down the stairs and see some more of Puerto Vallarta. You also have to check out the Zona Romantica, which is a lively area of town filled with lots of bars, restaurants, and beautiful tree-lined streets with lots of pretty flowers, colorful hanging banners, and lots of street vendors selling all kinds of touristy stuff.
And of course, you can't forget the Zona Romantica's absolutely gorgeous Los Muertos beach. The beautiful white sand beach is lined with lots of different multicolored umbrellas and attracts visitors from all over the world. It's the perfect place to enjoy Puerto Vallarta's nice tropical weather. You can go for a leisurely stroll, Or you can grab a free lounger under one of the umbrellas like we did at the Ritmos Beach Cafe to sit down, relax, enjoy the scenery, and to have a cold beer. Cheers!
Another great spot for a drink with phenomenal views overlooking the beach is called Mari Vino. It has a giant 2-story palapa and this cool looking bar. But the best part is this absolutely stunning beachfront terrace that has the dining tables placed directly in shallow water with palm trees poking up through the pool. And the terrace wraps around the entire front of the restaurant. Such a cool concept.
After we took off our shoes and placed them in bags, we stepped down into the refreshing water and waded our way over to our phenomenal table, right beside the glass railing. What a unique experience. We sat down and enjoyed the picture-perfect views of the Los Muertos Pier, the beautiful beachfront, and the ocean. Now that's relaxing. It feels like we're truly on vacation.
Tom decided to try the Margarita Classica. And I tried the Agua Santa, which is a tropical and refreshing mango and kiwi drink with Don Julio Reposado tequila. I thoroughly enjoyed the Agua Santa and would definitely order it again.
Mari Vino is a great place to go for a drink with your feet in the water. But if you're looking for some tasty food with tables right on the beach, make sure to check out this place here with the thatched roof. It's called La Palapa Restaurant and has tables on both sides of the boardwalk. We got the perfect table right beside the boardwalk, directly in front of the incredible sunset with a nice view of Los Muertos Pier.
We enjoyed the coconut shrimp with cilantro puree and mango sauce, and the pork roulade with chorizo, sweet potato, pecan, pepper sauce, goat cheese, and braised vegetables. Overall, we had a great meal at La Palapa, with the beautiful beachfront sunset view, the hanging lanterns, and the nice view of the Los Muertos Beach Pier.
The iconic Los Muertos Beach Pier is another spot you have to check out during your trip to Puerto Vallarta. It's a great place to go for a stroll, since whichever direction that you look, you get incredible panoramic views overlooking the water, the beach, and all of the buildings climbing up the side of the mountain. What an extraordinary perspective. But let's keep going and check out some more of Puerto Vallarta. Another popular attraction is taking a leisurely stroll along the beachside Malecon walkway. The pathway is lined with lots of great restaurants and patios. One that we really liked was the Blue Shrimp. Just behind the Blue Shrimp, the Malecon walkway continues, and there are vendors selling all kinds of touristy goods.
And just opposite the Malecon and the vendors, there's this beautiful square called Lazaro Cardenas Park, which is covered in colorful hand-laid mosaic tiles. Love all the different vibrant designs and colors on the mosaic tiles covering all of the benches throughout the entirety of the park. What a cool concept. Even the gazebo in the middle is covered. Very cool. On Saturday, we went to check out the Olas Altas Farmers Market, which changes the whole vibe in the square. It's filled with lots of vendors selling all kinds of products, from artwork and sculptures to handmade jewelry and even musical instruments. We quite enjoyed browsing around the dozens of vendors, all beautifully situated amongst the charming and colorful handcrafted mosaic tilework. And there's more vendors around every corner. Over in the middle here, we came over to our favorite section, the food section. In the middle of the food section, there was some live music playing in the gazebo, which made for quite a lively atmosphere to look around at all the tasty food options to choose from.
This friendly bunch was selling choripan and torta, which smelled wonderful. And this place over here with the line was selling michiote and tacos. Sorry if I butchered the pronunciation. We didn't try them, but I sure wish we did. They sure do look tasty. Love how they make the tortillas fresh like that.
You could spend hours at the Olas Altas Farmers Market, but let's keep going along the beachside Malecon walkway to see what else makes Puerto Vallarta so special. As you continue your stroll along the beautifully landscaped Malecon, you'll find lots of fun activities like beach volleyball and parasailing.
But let's keep going up the Kuali River Bridge. Halfway across the bridge, if you turn down the stairs and walk under this pretty flower-adorned pergola, you'll eventually make it to the Kuali Island Flea Market, which is lined with lots of vendors selling all kinds of goods, beautifully situated amongst the tropical foliage. And right beside the vendors, there's even some of these alien-looking rubber trees. And this cool-looking skeleton guy. It's a great place to go for souvenirs, to go for a stroll, or for your Instagram photos. The beautiful market just seems to continue on forever.
But there's more to see and do, so let's head back over to the Malecon. On the other side of the Kuali River Bridge, the Malecon continues, and there are an assortment of street vendors lined up along the waterfront, selling all kinds of foods like dessert, fresh fruit, homemade ice cream, crepes, and various types of Mexican specialties. The vendors just seem to keep on going and going. It definitely makes for an interesting and mouth-watering afternoon stroll beside the water. But let's keep going and check out what else there is around the corner. Just around the corner, beside the Los Arcos stone arches, you'll discover these giant rocking horses, which are fun for both adults and kids alike. Giddy up, yeehaw! And if you keep walking past the rocking horses, there's this nice open promenade where you'll find a popular attraction, the Puerto Vallarta letter sign, which also has a cool seahorse monument in the middle. It always seems to be busy, so you'll have to get in line for your turn to get a picture taken with it. Not sure what happened, but our video looks much further away than we actually were.
After you get your picture taken with the Puerto Vallarta letter sign, you can keep walking along the beautiful waterfront Malecon pathway to find lots more examples of creative sculptures and artwork. Not too much further along, you'll find this cool sculpture crafted out of sand. I think he's keeping the sculpture wet so that it doesn't crumble under the sun. Continuing on, this busy section of the Malecon is lined with more shops and restaurants. This was such a delightful area of the Malecon to walk through. Great water views, lots of lush green vegetation, and a nice stone pathway. Very pretty.
Not much further along the Malecon, you'll find these cool little rock pile sculptures covering the beach, which were made by rock balancers. There's also this wishing well and some cool sand castles, just right on the beach beside the walkway. And at night, this section of the Malecon transforms when the bars and nightclubs turn on their spotlights and music. That swing sure does look like fun. Now, we didn't try any of the bars or nightclubs here, but they did look interesting. The restaurants also had lots of hanging lights, which made the walk along the Malecon quite enjoyable at night too.
If you keep walking along the Malecon past the Puerto Vallarta sign, you'll find lots more street vendors surrounding the Los Arcos stone arches, where you'll also find a popular kids show. Wow, that sure is a lot of people.
On Sundays, just across the street from the Los Arcos stone arches, you can also find Dancing with the Locals in the main square, Plaza de Armas. We quite enjoyed watching and grooving alongside the talented local dancers. That sure does look like fun. Too bad I can't dance like that.
But let's keep going and see what else there is to do in Puerto Vallarta at night. The Zona Romantica is also quite lively at night, with lots of hanging lights as well as bustling restaurants and patios, some of which even have nice live tableside dancing and music, like this one here. Very cool. You can also check out some of the many gay bars and restaurants in the Zona Romantica. There are lots of bustling gay bars with lively music to choose from. Some have open fronts and some spill right out into the sidewalks. A popular one is La Noche, which has multiple levels and a rooftop terrace.
Another fun activity is the Rhythms of the Night experience, which is accessible only by boat. It starts by taking an approximately 1-hour scenic cruise across Banderas Bay. During the cruise, you get unlimited free drinks, so we got some rum punch, which were quite tasty and definitely on the strong side. The cruise seemed to fly by. And in what seemed like no time at all, we arrived at the pristine and remote cove of Las Calitas. When you stepped off the pier and onto the shoreline pathway, there were interesting characters in costumes like this mermaid, and this guy with the giant mask on stilts. Very cool.
Love all the lush tropical foliage lining the walkway. What a beautiful and unique entrance to Las Calitas and Rhythms of the Night. But I'm getting hungry, so let's go get some food. We walked along the sandy beach to get to our table right by the water.
We then grabbed some plates and loaded them at the free buffet with food like shrimp, beef, and chicken. Then sat down to enjoy the beautiful panoramic views at our shorefront candlelit table. And of course, the tasty food. Tom's portion size was much more reasonable than mine. I think I went a bit overboard. But we both still got an assortment of desserts too.
After that lovely meal, we went to check out some more of Las Calitas. The tropical pathways were lit by tiki torches as well as candles and were very pretty, especially this bridge surrounded by all the foliage. And as the sun went down, the candle and tiki torch lit paths looked even more beautiful. Wow, gorgeous.
Then it was time for everyone to head to the amphitheater for the main attraction, the show which was created by one of the co-founders of Cirque du Soleil. We waited for it to get dark. Then it was time for the show to start. Some of my favorite sections were when the acrobats were doing incredible flips on the teeter-totter. And of course, the fire dancers, who definitely know how to put on a spectacular performance.
After that amazing spectacle was finished, we thanked the many talented performers who were involved in the show. Then we had a tiki torch lit walk back to the boats, where we got more free drinks and another show put on by the boat's crew. Overall, we loved our Rhythms of the Night experience and would definitely recommend it.
We'd also recommend trying some of the amazing food options in Puerto Vallarta. A popular spot that's one of our favorite restaurants in Puerto Vallarta is Poncho's Tacos. It's got cheap and delicious tacos, quesadillas, and more. We really enjoyed their melted cheese and chicken quesadillas, as well as their delicious Volcanes tacos with roasted pork, baked cheese, and pineapple on top. They were absolutely loaded with pork and melted cheese, and were quite messy to eat, as Tom demonstrated. But they tasted incredible. They were probably my favorite. Another exceptional dish was the stuffed avocado al pastor. There's a full avocado under all that meat.
Another remarkable restaurant that we tried was Café des Artistes, which has this colorful facade. And back behind this colorful facade, Café des Artistes, which serves Mexico-inspired French cuisine, has a gorgeous, lush, tropical back terrace oasis. We absolutely loved our meal back here and didn't want to leave.
We loved the tuna tartare with avocado, served on a huge salt block with a beautiful assortment of toppings, as well as the milk caramel fondant with pecan crumble, banana ice cream, and caramelized banana.
If you're looking for brunch in Puerto Vallarta, then there's some great options to choose from as well, like Coco's Kitchen, which has a nice back patio and delicious food.
We ordered the cinnamon roll French toast, which tasted incredible, as well as the chilaquiles rojos with 2 eggs and shredded chicken, which are pretty much delicious breakfast nachos. And if that wasn't enough, we also got the churro pancakes, which are sprinkled with cinnamon sugar and served with caramelized milk and mascarpone whipped cream and a side of bacon. Another great brunch spot is Freddy's Toucan Restaurant and Bar, where we tried the campesino breakfast with beef, red chilaquiles, egg, and refried beans. We also ordered a couple other meals. One was the chipotle chicken tips with chicken strips that are sauteed with onions, mushrooms, and peppers, and bathed in a creamy chipotle sauce, served with refried beans, guacamole, and homemade tortillas. And the other was this impressive looking smoked salmon bagel.
There are so many delicious food options to choose from in Puerto Vallarta, we could make a whole video on it, which we actually did. So make sure to check out our video on it if you want to see some of Puerto Vallarta's best restaurants and find out how much they all cost. Well, we hope that we gave you some useful information on our Puerto Vallarta travel guide and that it gave you some good ideas on what to see, do, and eat on your next trip. We really enjoyed making today's video, and we hope you enjoyed watching it too. If you did, we'd really appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications on our future videos. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps our channel to grow.
And remember, take time to travel. Catch you on the next one.